Oh, wait, Ryan. Order. This is the order in case. I'm just letting you know. North Carolina, Virginia, Duke, Tennessee. And stay off the weed.
He knows. Did you see? Never mind. I'll tell you after.
Don't get.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the DNA Sports Talk Show here on Warrior Network. I'm Davis Gregory. Here with me always is Mr. Andrew Cross. And today we've got some March Madness talk for you all. It's Thursday and Friday. We're recording this on Wednesday. Most likely these Sweet 16 games will be over by the time you see this. But here are our predictions for the Sweet 16. We finally reached these rounds where you're going to see a lot of really good basketball coming up. So we're going to start out first matchup, a 1 seed versus a 5 seed in the Midwest, North Carolina versus Auburn. Auburn, a very, very hot team right now, playing great defensively and had a fantastic shooting game against Kansas. When their first round matchup, they did not close the game very well against New Mexico State, but still shot the ball very well against New Mexico State. And of course, ended up winning that game, moved on to Kansas, and that was, at halftime, Auburn was up on Kansas more than Kansas has ever been down by in school history.
21 points.
In the NCAA tournament, which is huge for an Auburn team that's only been to three Sweet 16s in school history, and then Kansas, you know, the powerhouse that they are with their basketball program. But Auburn, again, shot the ball fantastic in that game. Bryce Brown, Jared Harper, Chuma Okeke, Anthony McLemore, Horace Spencer. That entire lineup can shoot threes. Really, the entire team can. And North Carolina is a fantastic team. They've got a lot of experience on that team. Kobe White, Luke May, Nasir Little. It's a fantastic lineup that North Carolina has. And we know both teams like to run and gun a little bit. So give me a little bit of insight on that, Andrew.
I mean, you know, UNC, they shoot the ball very efficiently. Cam Johnson is up to 40%. He's one of the nation's leaders, but they don't shoot it a lot. They're in the 200s of D1 of shot attempts. So very like polar opposites. Like one shoots the ball, doesn't necessarily shoot it efficiently, shoots the three a lot. One shoots it very efficiently, but doesn't shoot it a lot. They love to run and gun. The Tar Heels do. They beat Duke twice without Zion both times. And, I mean, they were down early in the game to Iona. They came back, won by, I believe, 13, and then they demolished a good Washington team. I don't really see Auburn winning this game unless either Bryce Brown or Jared Harper goes off and has like 30-plus points. I don't see Auburn winning. Auburn, they don't play great defense. I mean, the Kansas game, they played very well, but like other than that, their defense has been meh, like average or maybe above average. And UNC, they defend. They're very deep, they have one defensive skill that not many teams Auburn plays. They can stay in front of the guards of Auburn, like Seventh Woods, like you mentioned, Nasir Little and Kobe White, all great defensive guards that can handle Bryce Brown and Jared Harper. I think if Auburn hits a lot of threes, more than they usually do, I think they can hang in this game, but I still got UNC winning. They're just too big of a team, too strong of a team, and I think they're going to out-rebound Auburn a lot in the offensive glass, and that'll be the deciding factor.
I think that will be too. That rebounding stat is huge. Auburn, not a very good team defensively rebounding.
Not tall either.
And, of course, not tall either. Not really matching well up against UNC height-wise. But, again, as you said, I think if Auburn has a good first half from one certain player, maybe about 16 from Brown like they had last game, then they do have a shot to win this game, but I think experience is going to come into play in this game, and I think North Carolina will pull it down, pull this game through down the stretch. Now, next game, Virginia versus Oregon. Oregon, the Cinderella so far of this tournament, with big wins over Wisconsin in that first round and then beating UC Irvine, who defeated Kansas State. Oregon also won their championship by, I believe, 20 points. So they came into this tournament hot, and they've done a fantastic job. But they're running into a team that's looking for revenge after being knocked out in the first round by a 16 seed. Virginia, as we know, last season, very good defensively this season as well, allowing 55 points per game. Andrew, what do you see from this matchup between the Cavaliers and the Ducks?
I would say it'd be a close game if Oregon star center Bol was playing. He averaged 21 points a game, 10 rebounds. He's a projected lottery pick, but he's not. He's out for the season with a knee injury. Oregon, they've showed that they can hang with some good teams. They beat Kansas State, who was, I believe, their best team in the Big 12. But Virginia, like you said, they're out for revenge. They were down early to another number 16 seed, and they came back and demolished them. I think they only gave up like 27 or like 24 points in the second half against Gardner-Webb. And then against a good Oklahoma team that just destroyed them. Virginia's favored by 8.5, and they have a 93% chance, according to ESPN, to win. So, I mean, there's not much to it. I'm going with Virginia, and I think Virginia moves on to the Elite Eight, and they're the number one seed in the South. And I think they're gonna go to the Final Four. I have Virginia going to the Final Four in my bracket, and led by DeAndre Hunter, Kyle Guy, and Ty Jerome. This is one of the best teams Tony Bennett has had at Virginia.
And it's, again, Kyle Guy, fantastic player for the Cavaliers all season. Virginia, I'm going to go with Andrew's pick as well. I'm taking Cavaliers over Oregon. Cinderella's run is going to be cut short here in the Sweet 16. Now, next matchup, the number 1 overall seed, Duke Blue Devils, who just survived against UCF last round. And they go up against the Virginia Tech Hokies here in the Sweet 16. We mentioned Duke barely beating UCF. That score was 78-77. R.J. Barrett with the tip in as UCF went down for a final shot, missed it. So R.J. Barrett with that game-winning tip in, and also Zion's and one on Taco Fall, which fouled out Fall in those last remaining seconds and gave Duke the lead. And then Zion missed the free throw. R.J. gets a rebound, puts it back up and in, and Duke wins. Very, very great game by both teams in that one. But it will be interesting to see how Duke can try to bounce back from a tough game like that where they were challenged, and they have to go up against a Virginia Tech team that's pretty good as well.
Yeah, Virginia Tech, they're long, they're athletic. They're sort of like an LSU of the ACC. They can shoot threes. They have good guards. Kerry Blackshear Jr., I think that's his name, he's a great center off the pick and roll. He can shoot the three, he can drive inside, great passer out of the high post. I mean, if Virginia Tech, if they can cause turnovers and limit Duke's three-point shooting, which UCF did not, they left guards wide open for threes. And even though Duke didn't shoot the ball that well, you just can't leave guards open for threes, especially Duke guards who are very good shooters. I'm going to go with Duke. They move on to the Elite Eight. But I think it's a close one. I think Virginia Tech hangs around. They beat them in Blacksburg without Zion. And, I mean, this is going to be a close one because Duke, they're coming off that emotional win. RJ with the buzzer beater tip back, and for Virginia Tech, I think they're being a little bit slept on. They're 9-point underdogs, and they're a very good team. They were ranked top 10 at one point. They got demolished by Virginia, but still, this team I do believe can upset Duke. I don't think they will, but I'm gonna go with Duke. I think it's gonna be a good one, and that's I believe is that the Midwest or?
I believe that's the North.
The North, yeah, you're correct, the North. And final matchup, and Tennessee Purdue, and this is probably out of the 4 games we've done is the coin flip.
Yeah, this is going to be the best game probably.
It's a 50-50 shot who can win. Last time I looked, I saw Tennessee was favored by 1. Then I got news that Purdue was favored by 1. So I mean, it could go back and forth. There's no really clear underdog or favorite in this game. Grant Williams, SC Player of the Year. He's had shaky starts here in the tournament, but his team has settled down. They beat Colgate barely by 7 points. They were down in that game to a number 15 seed. And then they blew a 25-point lead against Iowa, still managed to pull that victory out in overtime. It all depends on how Tennessee can defend Carson Edwards and stay in front of the guards of Purdue. Purdue loves to shoot the three, and they like to sort of go slow and shoot those end-of-shot clock threes. I want to see how this one plays out because of Tennessee. They've gotten lit up by teams like Auburn who can shoot the three, not necessarily efficiently, but shoot it a lot and make volumes of threes. I'm going to go with Tennessee, but still, this is probably going to be a close one. Purdue might be able to pull this one out if Carson Edwards drops 42 like he did against Villanova.
Right, and Edwards averaging 35 points a game. Incredible, but on 35% shooting from the field. So that is also kind of a counter to that. 35 points a game. Still a fantastic player nonetheless. Purdue also with a little bit of a height advantage on Tennessee, but I believe Grant Williams played that excellent second half against Iowa. And still, you wonder Tennessee, 2 ugly wins, but really a win's a win here in the tournament, and that's all that matters.
I don't think we've seen top form Tennessee quite. We saw it a little bit in that first half against Iowa, but we haven't seen the Tennessee that blew out Kentucky at home and then beat them in the SEC tournament. I still think there's the best form of Tennessee to come, and whether that's in this game or in the Elite Eight, we shall see. But still, I think I'm going to go with Tennessee. Are you going to go with Tennessee as well?
I think I'm going to go with Tennessee as well in this one.
All right. And, I mean, Tennessee, they have experienced Rick Barnes. He won USA Writers Coach of the Year, so congrats to him. But, I mean, it's going to be a close one, Tennessee-Purdue, and that is on Thursday, I do believe.
Right, and of course, big thing, can Tennessee defend the perimeter? As you mentioned, not really doing that well against Auburn, and Colgate also lit them up as well. So we will see how these top 4 matchups play out on Thursday and Friday. We want to thank you all for tuning in to another episode of the DNA Sports Talk Show here on the Warrior Network, and we will see you next time.